Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer Israel, Steve Strazza. No JC today, I don't think. He'll be back tomorrow. He is traveling, I think, today. Driving somewhere. I'm not quite sure. In any case, the show must go on. And man, are you guys seeing this AMD thing this morning? Holy cow. That's the story of the day right there. AMD and OpenAI are partnering up, and AMD is going to the moon. I saw a clause in this headline. So, OpenAI is buying a bunch of AMD chips, and AMD is giving OpenAI warrants in exchange. And the warrants vest at certain levels. And I saw that some of these warrants for AMD vest when the price is at $600 per share. Well, we're at 223 right now, so I guess we're a third of the way there. So it's not that far off. Anyway, we got a lot to discuss. We'll talk about AMD. We'll talk about maybe the quantum stock's going to hit this morning. We'll talk about bank M&A. Who doesn't love regional bank M&A on a Monday morning? I love that. We'll have Caleb Franzen on the show at 9 o'clock. We'll have Sam Gatlin stop by, Kenny Glick stop by, and that will be the show for the day. So, are we ready, chat? Yes. Good. Everyone, do me a favor. Drop me a like, please, and thank you. Here we go. What's up? What's up?
Looking through this AMD press release now.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff for a Monday morning.
I just had a ginger and cayenne shot. Ooh,
I'm not
goody.
I don't do those health shots. That's not for me.
I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
Phil says they're filled with sugar. I believe him, but
just give me some coffee, preferably black, and then we're good to go.
Speaking of coffee, how about those Miami Hurricanes, huh? Number one team in the nation, really. They should be number one, though. I mean, come on. Ohio State. Give me a break. Would they beat Minnesota this weekend?
I don't even think they played.
We're out here beating every team in Florida, whooping on them. By the way, did you see the Gators just wreck Texas?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
I don't know. Miami's going to be tough to beat this year. So I texted JC. I said, dude, where's the national championship this year?
Oh, okay.
And I thought he was
messing. That's the top right there. Where is the national championship?
And you know what he said? He goes, Miami, bro. I said, stop. Can you imagine the fun that will be had in the great city of Miami when the Miami Hurricanes bring the national championship back to South Florida? Wow. It's exciting. Michael Irvin's excited.
I googled the wrong year. I googled 25. It should be googling 26. Okay. Anyway,
I'm playing a lovely municipal golf course here. I can play in the morning before the show. I could probably get in 9 holes.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'll bet I'm going to try. I'll let you know. I'm flying through this course, Spencer. I'm flying through. There's nobody out there. I love it. I'm used to a very crowded course where I play in Key West. And actually, I do miss playing with my golf buddy. So I'm going back Friday. I'm basically driving 5 hours this weekend for a round of golf on Saturday. But we have some great rounds of golf. And, I've been playing alone, playing with Rose. It's good to get out there and play with your buddies. I think Aaron from Portfolio Accelerator is actually going to join me this week.
Nice.
Nice. Play a little here.
Right.
Yeah, it's got, it's like that public golf course vibe. It's just really sick. I'm really liking it. I'm really into it. Right.
You're out there, 6 o'clock in the morning?
6:30, but I'm going to talk to him, we got to see when exactly the sun rises. I only need an hour and a half, and I could do 9. So.
All right.
Yeah.
When we starting the show later and later, you don't know why. It's because somebody bogeyed the 7th. And
coming in all sweaty or sweatier than usual.
Anyway. All right, let's do some state of the markets. Let's talk about what's happening out there.
Okay,
Steve,
first,
I mean, there's a ton of green on my screen here. It's the only thing that's not green is the Hang Seng, right? Granted, I don't have as much as you have on yours, but I've got a decent amount of stuff on my screen. And stock index futures all up, commodities up, bonds. I mean, is there anything that's not up this morning? Crypto? Oh my goodness.
It's a good question, Curtis. Yes, I'm on a list now. I got a guy. He's helping me out. I'm a big fan of the JW Marriott, and they have a club down here that gives you access to some really nice courses. And we have some customers and client friends who are active members trying to hook me up. But dude, these waiting lists are like 2-3 years. It's crazy. The whole private golf club situation down here is really wild. And the reason I'm not like rushing to join one is because I'm planning to relocate about 45 minutes south when we move in about 9 months. So if I join one up here, right, and you pay like, whatever for a cheap club, it's like 20 grand, 25 grand forever, and then you pay the annual on top of it. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to wait until we move on down and hope to get hooked up at the JW Marriott Marco Club. It's cool. It's really good.
And Steve's Florida Adventure is brought to you by Florida Man.
No, we're having a happy hour. We're having a Southwest Florida breakout multiplier sponsored happy hour down here.
Oh,
we're gonna figure out where exactly, but I'm excited because I know everybody's excited about the AMD trade. They want to talk about it. We got to get together, have some beers. People say, how do you do this? The answer is we get lucky a lot because we take a lot of swings because we get our money back in a highly efficient manner. What do I mean by that? We put on trade. I freaked out Friday. I freaked out. I started thinking we're not long enough. Market's taking off on me. I don't have enough exposure. I like farted out like 4 trades in a matter of like a half hour just to load back up on that exposure because this market is a runaway train right now. And we get into something and we sell a double and we try to get our money back as quickly as possible. And then we leave that exposure, right? And then that's there. And it's a month, 2 months. We're now exposed to whatever that theme is. And we take that money back when we sell half and we buy something else and we're exposed to a new theme. And if we sell a quick double there, we get our money back. And then we buy something else and we're exposed to another theme.
Sean,
so we're exposed to everything at all times. And people go, oh, how do you always hit? Because we're there. We're in everything at a very, very low capital constraint system.
You know what that reminds me of? When I went to a horse race many years ago, and there was this couple, and they were winners every time. They were at the window after every race, and we're like, how? Turns out they're spraying bets around on everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
So of course something. But no, in all seriousness, Sean talks about this too a lot. He's like, yes, there's an element of luck involved, but you have to put yourself in a position to get lucky, right? And that's what Steve is doing, right? You just put himself in a position to get lucky. So anyway,
we're good at that. And then there's 2 other things that help. We're good at themes, right? We're good at spotting themes, getting there early, being on time, and then we're pattern people, right? So we lean into those themes and we press right at that moment where there's some sort of a turn. So we really try to nail our entries. And so AMD today will probably go like 20x for us. Let's talk about what happened.
So AMD, I don't have the rate of change up, but I'm imagining this is going to be one of their best days ever. Up 34% as we speak.
Oh wow, it's still going.
35%, excuse me, 35% now.
While people try to understand how these warrants work, is that what's going on here this morning?
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, you used the word vest. You gave a really nice explainer of them. Is the word vest actually in the press release?
Well, no, I didn't read the press release, but I'm assuming I've seen the word vest several times this morning. So yeah, there was a vesting schedule for the warrants. Really? They weren't just awarded a bunch of warrants straight up. They vest.
That's usually how it works.
Dude. AMD has goals over time, and OpenAI has goals over time, and they have to both hit their goals for the warrants to vest.
Okay.
So
because there's people out there this morning, some idiots out there this morning, the scary folks, right? Who are like, oh, this is like
dilutive.
No, well, it is. It is dilutive for AMD. But they're like, oh, this is like, vendor financing back during the dot-com bubble, right? Where people couldn't afford something, so the vendors finance it. It's not like that, actually, because it's not like OpenAI can turn around and sell these warrants tomorrow and then use that cash to buy AMD chips.
Right.
So that's what kind of I'm hearing out here this morning. I don't think that's the case. I will read into it more, but just very high level. It seems like if Spencer's explaining this correctly, that the warrants are vesting. This isn't liquidity. For them that they're going to turn around and use to like buy AMD.
Not instant liquidity, no. There are.
a nice gain on them already, though, after a 35% move in a day.
There are several tranches of warrants that invest over time. This is what I saw. So,
How big is the deal?
oh,
Like, what's the ownership percentage that AMD gets?
what's the you mean OpenAI? What?
AMD is investing in OpenAI.
No. OpenAI is getting AMD shares.
For the warrants. Okay. Okay.
OpenAI will end up with like a 10% stake after all is said and done here.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So they recently did a deal with both NVIDIA and AMD.
I mean,
I thought you only needed one of those two chips.
I don't know.
I know, but that's cool. Look, they're doing deals out here. Another one that you're not going to hear about today that I think is also pretty cool. Regional banks. They got to get together. You're going to see more of this. So this was what, Fifth Third buying Comerica. There's a lot of Fifth Thirds down here. Did you know that they got their name that mathematically doesn't make sense because Fifth Bank merged with Third Bank? Because you can't.
I've always wondered that.
You know.
I've always wanted to know how did Fifth Third get their bank or get their name. I honestly didn't realize that Fifth Third was so much larger than Comerica because both those banks are in Michigan. I kind of assume they're kind of the same size. No, Fifth Third is 3 times as big as Comerica. I had no idea. So
okay,
yeah, the regional banks. There's a 500 of these things and smaller community banks around the country. So do we have to start looking at community bank roll-ups now? Because if it's a bull market and there's bank M&A, then hold on to your hats.
So we're getting maybe not exactly a clearing event, but a lot of uncertainty being removed, right? There's a regulatory overhang on the banks, the regional banks, right? So that's being removed. You're getting more clarity on that with the new legislation. And then also, and I think more importantly, these regionals were probably waiting to make deals for the balance sheets of these regional banks to shore up, right? And now that the lending activities and lending businesses are improving across the board in this industry, I think you're going to see the big banks take targets and start merging with some smaller regionals. Yep. So expect more of these little regional bank tie-ups. I think they're both super regionals, CMA and Fifth Thirds.
You want to talk about like healthcare at all, coming off its best week in forever, or crypto or gold? I mean, there's a lot to discuss here. There's a lot that's looking good.
Crypto. Well, here's the thing. Everything looks great. It's gotten very easy to do well in this market. Don't learn any bad lessons. Make hay while the sun is shining. It won't last forever. If you want to be aggressive or creative with your entries, this is the time to do it. If you want to move all the way out on the risk spectrum and buy some NFTs or some land in the metaverse, this is probably the time to do it.
These NFTs, got it. Okay.
It's true. You know, you laugh. I bought some of these like Solana treasury companies the other week. Zoom. You could throw a dart, and the riskier the better. Just protect yourself. That's where we're at. Healthcare is buyable now. That's a big deal, right? It started with the biotechs. We've been talking about the biotechs since the summer. So this is probably coming. That rotation is probably coming because we saw it in the internals for the sector, right? You know, biotechs really caught fire. Some others started to thaw out. But now it's the whole space. Pharma is absolutely on fire. And speaking of a clearing event, that was, right? Last week, the RFK, the Trump thing, doing a deal with Pfizer, all that did is send a message to the entire industry. We're open for business. You know, come talk to us. Let's cut a deal on drug pricing. So I think it's a path forward for the entire industry, and this is a valid trend reversal.
And so this goes back to the point Steve was saying. It's not as if Steve knew, there's going to be a deal between like the federal government and Pfizer. Like, no, of course not, right? But you look under the surface, you look at our rentable market. What hasn't left the station yet? There's only so many places to go. One of them is energy. One of them is healthcare. All right. Logically, stands to reason. Healthcare could, all it takes is a little, it's like gravity, right? It just a little push, and it actually got a big push, and that's what happens, right? But
huge.
And
when you understand the rotational tailwinds of a bull market, you can make bets. Like, for example, we've been talking about Pfizer for a long time. Been accumulating shares of Pfizer. Stock got incredibly cheap. It was, hit like almost no other, right, in the blue chip space. What else looked as bad as Pfizer? Speaking of Dow stocks or blue chip stocks, not really anything. So you could eventually look at an area like that and say, this thing's not a zero. It's eventually got to catch some flows. Looks like it's bottoming. You got a nice base kind of taking form. Let's start building in now, right? And try to get a really nice entry, a low cost basis here for when this thing finally does turn. And we might have gotten there 3, even 6 months early, probably more than that. And then it ends up being okay. So that's what I mean when I say stuff like bull markets will bail you out, right? You're not really getting bailed out if that was your plan, but in a way you are, because they drag everything up at the end of the day. 99% of things end up working in a bull market when it's all said and done.
Steve, how much patience do you have in a time like this? We talk about things working, and
depends. I buy the calls or the common.
all right,
right?
All right. That I guess that does. Yeah.
And obviously, that's what you think about when you make that decision, right? Something like Pfizer, I love the dividend. I've been loading into the common, taking my time. There was no real evidence that this thing was ready to take off until right now. Now it looks like something I want to be in some calls in. We had Merck calls.
No, but in all seriousness, you buy a stock. We're in a bull market. You buy a stock. It doesn't go anywhere for a couple weeks, a month, a couple months, right?
Yeah.
At a certain point, there's the opportunity cost to consider. So how much patience do you actually have? I mean, in your case with the Pfizer, it worked out for you, but
no, fair point, Spencer. That was a losing trade for a long time, and I was still way too early, and I did take some opportunity cost for sure, right? Yeah. That money could have been somewhere else, working better for me. You're absolutely right. Yep,
it's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
That's right.
I don't really have anything except the market is zooming. Risk assets are so well bid out here. Stock futures look great. International markets look solid today. Intermarket, nothing to really mention. The cryptos, sleepy weekend. I thought we might have ramped this weekend. You're starting to see it Sunday nights or between Sunday night
and Monday weekend.
What?
Sleepy weekend for crypto?
Look, this is the moment, right? We're in that period now where you should expect fireworks. Like you should be looking at charts of bonk on the weekend and doing some sketchy shit. Because you're just wait for it, Spencer. You remember what election time last year? What these cryptos were doing? We're gonna get a moment like that again soon. And it hasn't started yet, right? We talked about Solana looks good. Solana hasn't broken out above its prior cycle highs yet. Solana, here's the truth about Solana.
Coinbase is going straight to 400 like today.
We've navigated and traded Solana beautifully this whole cycle, but Solana hasn't been that good. That's the truth about Solana. Solana should be a lot better by the time this thing's said and done. I think Solana's probably got a 2, 3, maybe 4x in it before the end of this cycle. And then think, if Solana's doing that, what are the Solana meme coins doing? I don't know, what is something going wrong with my connection? Like what's going on with the Bonk and the Floki and all these shit coins if Solana's going up 3x? I don't know. Ask yourself that.
I have to redeploy. I don't have any Shakecoin exposure. I saw them all. I have to redeploy. It seems like get back into the fart coin, all that stuff. But yeah, Coinbase is going straight to 400. Steve. Oh, Steve froze. Strazza, you okay? Oh, all right. Well, when Steve unfreezes, we'll get him back. Oh, he's back. Okay. No, I was just saying Coinbase to 400, Steve. I mean, it's every day with this thing.
Easy. Where it's going. But you're feeding ducks here along the way, right? For Coinbase, we filled that gap, right? The trade is working in our favor. It depends on how long you are, kind of what things you did, how short did you go. Like the breakout multiplier trades, we're in like 1017s and 1031s. I really want the old highs around 420, 430. But you're getting to the point here where we're doubled on all these at this point, at least at the bell this morning. You do want to start taking some. We've had 6 straight up days now after this session. These trades are working really well. You got that automatic reaction type surge. Again, I think you do get more, but it's time to start paying yourself along the way, especially if you're still out of the money or close to the money, with a week and a half, 2 weeks till expiration here, which we are in some of them. So. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's give Steve a chance to feed some ducks. I'm going to bring on Kenny. His list is getting longer and longer every day. It seems like that's what happens. We're in a bull market. I don't know what to tell you. So
You want to
Kenny,
feed the ducks a little bit today.
Kenny's back. Kenny left, and we thought, oh, last time Kenny left, last like 3 times Kenny left was not good. But the trend broke on Friday. So let's talk about that.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Go Dogs, right?
That's all I got. But if you hear the underlying song, that's Metal Militia by Metallica, and it's all about the metals right now. You guys getting some critical metal? CRML? Come on, people. I gave it to you a couple of days ago, about $4. It's on my track record. So, yeah, critical metal. All right. So we would, again, a lot of these trades this year started out with the great name, right? Because this is 1999 all over again, but better in steroids. It's beyond anything I've ever imagined. So now you give me a good name, and again, if I go public, I'm just going to name my company Space Rockets, Robots, Quantum AI, Chips, and metals. But yeah, critical metals. I mean, this is the USAR all over again. So we bought USAR a couple of weeks ago. Was it a couple months ago? Because it was USA rare earth. How does the stock not go up? And then it broke 20, and we all got paid last week. And this one, critical metals. This is the market we're in, my friends. And if you're gonna deny what we're witnessing, then you might be a delusional bear like I am. Because man, I'm hearing more rumblings about something about the VIX and things that nobody's seen for 100 years, telling me how the market's going to crash any day. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Let me know when the VIX actually starts going up and UVXY is above 20. How you doing, everybody?
What's funny is when a lot of people say this is like 1999, this reminds me of the .com bubble, they're saying it's derogatory, right? When you say it, it's a compliment, right? This is like 1999. This is freaking awesome. Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, for you, it's a compliment.
And it's not going to end the same way because history rhymes, it doesn't repeat. Whatever that saying is, right? There were companies that had no business. There was a company called Amen.com. Seriously, they sold Bibles. The stock was public. It didn't do anything for 25 years. They said, "Hey, we're going to sell Bibles online." The stock went from 1 to 40, and then it crashed. Yeah. That was different. We're trading companies now. A lot of them don't make any money still, right? But the idea that we're going into a new industrial revolution is real. There's no denying what we're witnessing here, right? So sure, some of these rigatonis and quantum stocks, of course, they don't make any money. And by the way, before we go any further, Strazza is on fire. A year ago, Strazza and I were talking about the Andy Dufresne and a lot of these stocks that were coming out of these patterns. And he gave me a list of about 20 of them. I think 19 out of 20, except for Path. And even though that Path trade actually worked, so also it still was a stinker. This is the market where there's not many AMDs left. But I mean, we keep on chugging and chugging and chugging. And right now, man, if you're getting in the way of the freight train, you're going to get run over like I have. And I mean, if I never shorted the Qs in my life, I'd be in a different stratosphere right now.
I mean, Kenny, you could almost just find the ones that haven't worked well yet and make the bet they're going to start to look like the others soon. That's what we're doing out here.
That's what critical CRML was all about. Yeah, exactly.
I saw that.
Hey, and like TMC or any of this stuff. I mean, the uranium stocks. So it's like you're just looking for stocks that were forgotten and they're going to get their wake-up call. And it's just, you just have to wait. Like your rigatoni. When you were suggesting to buy a rigatoni and then somebody said, well, that stock's already gone parabolic. I'm like, what are you talking about? The stock went nowhere for a year. It's about to break out. Mm-hmm. And when stocks break out in this market, they double, which is the ridiculous part. That's the ridiculous part.
Take your price targets, throw them out the fucking window.
Yeah.
They don't matter.
Right. What I've been looking at is when a stock breaks out, I look at its low print from where it came from and then multiply that by 10. And it's been working. It's been working. So like when I looked at open, when it made the turn, the low print was 58 cents. I was like, oh, this thing's going to go to 580. Obviously went to 580. Rigatoni, 92 cents. I'm like, all right, this thing's going to go to $9.20. It's at 40 now. USAR, the low print was 5. It just made its turn. I'm assuming this thing's going to 50.
So this is basically bull market Fibonacci, guys. What he's explaining. Take the low point, just times it by 10.
Right, but I mean, I'm so old. I remember when stocks going up 8.5% for the year was awesome. Now we're doing it every 20 minutes.
All right, stick on your oldness for a second. All these comparisons about the dot-com bubble, even smart people like Ken Griffith out here comparing this to early 2000s. You were trading then.
Right.
I wasn't. What's the deal?
The deal is there's more now, which is great. That's what makes this better. There's more to choose from. There you had a select group. You had your Yahoos, your Double Clips, your Netscapes.
Imagine if they had the triple leveraged individual stock funds in the .com
with daily options on top of it.
Yeah, it's incredible. But the difference there is that it was, first of all, it was unknown. No one ever saw that. At least now we have something to base it on. Like, all right, we've seen it. So, again, the mistake that people made then, and I know everybody that blew up then, because they didn't know when to sell, right? Yeah. So JC says it's great. Buy stocks when they go up and sell them when they go down. Let me know when these stocks start to go down, and we'll sell them. That's it. Because the Qs, not only can they not pull back, even the tiny sell-offs are not even doing any damage. These are mini corrections. And again, we crashed on August 5th of last year with the yen carry. We had the Trump crash. You think we're going to crash 3 times in a 365-day period? I don't think we've ever seen that before.
Wow.
That's why I got super bullish on May 12th when we had that power gap. But what's different now is that there's just more. There's more going on, and there's more people doing this also. Every kid's got an app. So, again, just using my son as an example, my son bought the Qs. He started his retirement account 10 days ago. He doesn't care that they just rallied from, my dad's in from $38. My dad doesn't care. Nobody, you want in. That's the point. Everybody wants in. Everybody wants this action. And if everybody wants in, how are we going to go down? And here's the best part, friends. No. Let's say we do crash. Then what? We'll go back up.
I love it. And part of the reason why we have such a strong structural trend in America is because of our culture of passive investing, buying dips, basically what you just described about your son. He's a buyer forever and not a seller.
Right.
And there's a lot of people in the United States, U.S. investors, who are like that. Other countries aren't that way. People wonder why are bear markets so shallow? That could have something to do with it. The Vanguard crowd, right?
Right. I don't think we're going to have. I mean, you never know what's going to derail the market, but how long is it going to get derailed for? That's the thing. I don't see a prolonged. If let's say we do crash and we crashed out of that .com, that .bomb. That was a really long extended period of time. And again, I know it because my dad he held the whole time buying Cisco and Oracle, and now he's still in the same trades. So I don't think we're going to have a prolonged bear market, but let me see the market actually go down. Let me see 3 days in a row to go down. And by the way, if your stock goes down 3 days in a row, your stock's a dick. Get rid of it. Seriously. I mean, if you have a stock that doesn't rally at least once every 3 days, kick it out of your club.
All right. Now I know how much patience Kenny has.
There's no time. Like the late, great Freddie Mercury said, there's no time for losers.
Right. Exactly. Only time.
And look, in all seriousness, all three of us agree that this is going to end, right? At some point. Obviously, that's the nature of markets. It's just
but I think we got 3.5 more years of it.
Well, that may be so. That may be so.
I can't do it for another 3.5 more years. I'm telling you, I could barely have enough time to play golf the way it is. I can't do another 3 years of this bull market, dude.
Oh, poor Strazza.
But more importantly, who hit the emotional hedge parlay of the year? So again, my son, he became a Ravens fan because he couldn't take the pain and the anguish watching his dad suffer as a Jets fan. Right? So now he's a Ravens fan. And I'm kind of like, eat it now because they stink too. So we put the emotional hedge on. We bet against the Yankees, bet against the Giants, bet against the Jets, and bet against the Ravens. We hit a parlay, just anti-us, the anti-Glick parlay. I cannot even watch sports anymore. What is I'm lucky I was on a train.
I'm going to start texting you on Sunday mornings for the picks because I had the opposite of your parlay, too.
Bro, it's the same pick every year for 45 years now. I've been gambling since the 5th grade. The Jets stink. No matter what, there is something spiritual about it.
Check this
cyclical
out.
nature of sports. You think they'd get good every once in a while. And now Mark Sanchez is stabbing people.
Kenny, the trend is your friend, all right? And the trend has been down for 14 years.
Before you go,
I'm so happy I was on a plane. I wasn't even watching. I just wasn't even watching.
You'll like this, Kenny. All right. So I put on some leaps. College football futures before the season. Yeah. Listen, laugh now. 18-1 odds on Miami to go undefeated.
Oh, damn.
Can you catch a note on that?
How does that work?
Ooh, baby.
Nice. Right? You can start hedging too. That's what I love about all these apps now. You can live betting, hedging. It's so much going on.
I teased the lineup this week because I just love that juice, and the Canes are that good. Mm-hmm.
Right. Nice. Yeah.
The bull market is not enough.
You can basically bet on
teasing lineups.
I love it. You can bet on anything you want. It's the greatest time to be alive.
Right.
That's why. How do you not own Hood when they announce they're getting into sports gambling? The stock's up 100% since. Oh, man.
Amazing.
All right, so listen up. Big week for Kenny. All right, Kenny's doing a special event tomorrow afternoon. That is on hitthebid.com. The link is on the screen there. He's going to talk about his strategy for the earnings season starts in like a week, Kenny, if you can believe it, a week and a half. So you'll talk about that. And then on Thursday, you're speaking at the free, both of these events are free, the Wealth 365 conference. That link is also on the screen right now. Register. Both those links are in the chat.
By the way,
busy week for Kenny. Yeah,
it's going to be a hoot. Strazza, I'm throwing your name out there. So what I'm going to do at the Wealth 365 conference, I'm going to start a rumble. I'm going to say our guys are better than anybody else's guys. And if anybody wants to try to outtrade us, I want to get a rumble. I want a rumble. Guru Rumble 2025. Strazza, Parets, Glick. We'll take on anybody. We could take on anybody. So gurus step up to us and you get smashed.
I'm with you. I was talking to the copywriters last week. They're like, I don't know what to do for this promo. I said, just fucking tell them that there's nobody out here doing what we do. Just make that the promo. I don't know what it needs to be. Okay. But just tell them we're the fucking greatest traders alive right now. Find somebody else like us. That's the promo. Just made it.
It's good to be around you guys. You guys been on point the whole time. It's nice. I worked where one time the market had crashed and then they started preparing people for the bear market. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, I love it. I'm grateful to be surrounded by some real ass traders like you and Sean and the boys. It's sick. We have a really cool team.
And it's a privilege for the rest of us, people like me and everyone watching, to just be a part of it and learn, right?
Yeah, so awesome, man. I'm digging your emails, man. You're just on fire, bro. I just gotta say, yeah. I was all drunk on Friday. I was gonna start drunk texting you how you're the man. I was like, he might take
love that. Yeah. Drunk text me anytime.
All right, Kenny, have a good one, man.
I'll see you guys. We're going to talk more about my existential crisis all week. So track records, baby. Woo! See you later.
He's great, dude. Literally the best in the business. There's nobody like him.
I was on a text chain with Kenny last week. I did not participate, and it's one of those chains where like everyone else is like shooting messages, and I was just like, I'm not even going to chime in here. I had like 40 messages. So I was like, I'm not even gonna.
Awesome. Kenny probably doesn't even know this. I don't know if I've ever told him, right? But I had a lot of like really serious mentors coming up in the business, right? Doing professional research and stuff early on, even here at All Star Charts. And Kenny is somebody who I always looked at and learned from in the way I always thought. I used to be in his room many years ago. This guy's having more fun than anybody. He's having so much fun out here. He's so passionate about this. He's so inspired about what he does. And that always just resonated with me. Because if you're having a good time, you're going to be so much better at what you do. And I really took that from Kenny over the years. I got to have as much fun as this guy if I'm going to be good at this. So thanks, bro.
Yeah. And that's the irony of like day trading is like day trading itself actually can be kind of boring if you're just kind of sitting there staring at the screen waiting for something to happen, but no one has more fun doing it than Kenny. So
and guess what, in that room you're gonna make money. He's really fucking good at it too, so you're gonna have fun, you're gonna enjoy yourself, and you're gonna check in every box out here. I have friends who are just obsessed with Kenny's room. They spend all day in there. They just love it. I don't have the time to do that, or I would hang out, you know.
If you want to get in the free trial, hitthebid.com. But again, there's 2 live events this week that are free. Both of those links are in the chat. Should we bring on Mr. Caleb Franzen?
That super moon is something though, huh? The supermoon, wild. Moons are cool. I went to like a planetarium yesterday. We had to walk out. It's not for me, the space. And anyway, bring Caleb on. It's not a good story.
What are we talking about?
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Hi, Caleb.
My guys, what's up?
I gotta adjust the temperature in here. Kenny got me all riled up. I'm schwitzing a little bit now. So let me just be right back.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Tivat, Montenegro, at the beach.
Okay. Oh yeah. Caleb and I were DMing at like 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, because I was awake because dealing with the infamous 4-month sleep regression over here. So sleep is hard to come by. So I'm wide awake at 4. So I'm on my phone at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm seeing Caleb is tweeting up strong. I'm like, Caleb, oh yeah, Caleb's not on my time zone. Let's see what he's up to today. So
I'm always ready, man.
So, all right. What is the mood today? The mood all week, all month, all quarter. Quarter just started. It has been pretty bullish. You're seeing a lot of the same things that we're seeing. Obviously, is there any arrows for the quiver in the bear camp right now?
No, not really.
No,
and
not really?
I think the important thing to recognize, obviously, we're in uptrends. Risk-on metrics are continuing to rise and increase. And inherently within uptrends, we have to be prepared for the opportunity to produce a higher low. So I'm not ruling out that we could have anywhere from a 4 to even 6% correction at the index level. Of course, that's something I think we should always be prepared for. But if you're not participating in this uptrend, if you're not continuing to hold risk assets in this environment, I mean, this is what we dream of as investors, to be long during these kinds of market conditions.
Yeah, and there's been studies done where, like, if you miss the best couple of days, the best couple of weeks, the best couple of months, that destroys your long-term returns. Destroys.
You know what they don't do studies about? What if you juice up for the best couple of days? Or best
well, then there's that too. Yeah.
What if you're 3x leveraged during your long calls for the best couple of weeks? They don't run numbers like that. They should.
No, they don't.
That shit.
Yeah.
Steve, I missed you, brother. What's up, dude?
Caleb, I gotta ask you. You're out there where they do the goulash?
The goulash. Yeah, I mean, I was in Belgrade, Serbia for a month. I got to Montenegro about a week and a half ago, so just living it up.
That shit looks so good. I've never tried it.
Where I am now, it's a lot of seafood, so I'm maximizing that as much as I can because I'm at the beach.
The pictures, you're right there on the water, huh?
Yeah, man. Tivat, Montenegro is the place to be.
You're never coming home. We now know this, right? Right? You come home for important stuff, but you live there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like almost 3 years I've been living out here, so.
Wow.
I got guys on my analyst team now. They're like, no, I want to be like Caleb. I'm like, okay.
If anyone wants travel tips or anything, hit me up. I got a bunch of recommendations. So.
No, the boys are traveling. You've inspired them. It's great.
Love to hear that.
I love what you're doing. I like Spencer's first question because we have to start there. I'm honest, always honest about the shit that I'm seeing and doing. I've been telling JC for, God, I feel like a month now, there are no real bearish data points. And he keeps bringing me bearish data points. He's like, but if this one fails, it's a bearish data point. I'm like, yes, but it's not failing. Like, he can't even come up with them. I'm like, grasping, but I'm like, at the dollar, that's got to be bearish. It's got to bounce. We can't find anything that's really, truly an honest bearish data point right now. I know that you're looking at everything as well. I mean, are we crazy? What am I missing?
No, I think one of the beautiful things about this market environment is like basically everything is working. Even if you haven't been positioned in the ultra risk on segments of the market, even if you've just been in value stocks or utility stocks, you're at new all-time highs, right? So you haven't necessarily needed to go trade the quantum computing stocks or the energy stocks or the nuclear stocks or whatever the case is. This market is rewarding everyone. And I think another beautiful thing about it as well is obviously we've had stocks continuing to make new all-time highs for several months now. We just had Bitcoin make new all-time highs once again. So we're getting confirmation there. We have gold making new all-time highs. We have junk bonds making new multi-year highs. We have all of these beautiful conditions taking place. Everything is reaffirming each other.
Yeah.
Can we bring that up, please? Can we bring up that chart?
I brought a bunch of charts. So this is the junk bonds HYG.
People don't talk about this enough.
I mean, look, this is beautiful structure, right? This is one of those classic accumulation setups. We're getting that base breakout, and even if we consolidate from here, like I was mentioning with Spencer at the top, it's just an opportunity to produce yet another higher low. And I see nothing bearish about that. And by the way, one of the beautiful things about TradingView is you can actually adjust these charts to include the dividend yield. I'm not doing that one here.
Oh,
But if you did,
it would look pretty damn good. I'll tell you that much. If you guys have the next chart that I brought of just credit spreads, this is a beauty. I
but
think
seriously, you're getting 5% there in a fund like that, right? Close to 5%, I believe. And that's the same pattern. That's the same like textbook reversal pattern that he's pointing out that we've been buying in everything this whole cycle. That's been the chart.
Yeah. And I think this is actually even more important is when we're looking at the corporate bond spread, we're seeing this continuing to make new cycle lows. Yeah. The amazing thing is if we go to the next chart that I brought with me, where we invert credit spreads and then we overlay the S&P 500, you'll notice that we've had very significant consolidations or downturns when we're getting a bearish divergence between spreads and the S&P 500. When we look at this relationship right here, right now, we are not producing that bearish divergence, right? So this is actually an indicator that I was sharing in real time in late February saying, hey, I think this deserves some signs for caution right here, right now. I certainly wasn't shorting the market at the time, but I just want to reaffirm, we are not seeing that bearish divergence taking place right now. We're getting that confirmation between the credit and equity markets. That's a thing of beauty.
This form of analysis that Caleb is describing is so good. This kind of stuff can help keep you safe, right? See how he's marking this chart up for little subtle divergences right before big bear markets. JC always calls this one out as one of the things he used to turn bearish before COVID, right? These things start to go beneath the surface, right? And this is probably one of the biggest one. You got to listen to the bond market. And right now you're just not seeing it. Bond market is saying literally green light across the board.
Yeah, and I think one of the funny things about it too is like, when we look at headlines, macroeconomic headlines, it sounds like everything is in shambles, right? And the reality of the situation is if credit investors were worried, that would be expressed in the chart of credit spreads, and it's just simply not the case. So the reality of the situation is it's much better than mainstream media probably wants us to believe.
This hateful sentiment has been a genuine tailwind this cycle. Yeah. It's 100%. Strange. I don't understand why people are so bearish. I look around, everything seems fine. I talk to people, everything seems fine. And then you look at the news, you watch the news, it's crazy. But that helps, right? That adds fuel to the fire. You get a little momentum in a hated trend. Look at healthcare last week. There's no short interest in those stocks. Those are just fresh buyers.
Yeah.
But I think also part of it is like market headlines are really just like any other headline in that you will read and see what you want to read and see. So if you're predisposed to being bearish or pessimistic, you will see a headline about all-time highs. And to you, that is bearish because you're predisposed to being that way, right? The headline is almost secondary to your interpretation of the headline. And this goes for everything, not just markets, obviously. But people will see what they want to see and interpret it how they want to interpret it. So, the charts might say one thing, but your interpretation is all that really matters, right? And people will interpret. People are like, someone's talking about Dan Nathan in the chat this morning. And I mean, we're not watching CNBC, obviously, but I'm assuming he's bearish because he normally is, and that's what he does, and he's predisposed to being that way. So he'll see a headline, he'll see AMD with the OpenAI up 35% this morning now. I don't even know, and it'll make him bearish because he's predisposed to being that way. So that's just the way it is. That's just how people are. People are weird.
Now, you did a post-mortem on this, though, right? And you went back, say, 3 months ago. It's early July. The bull thesis, super high level, should have been simple, right? The evidence has never been so bullish this whole cycle. Meanwhile, everybody hates it. Sentiment's never been so bearish. That's it. You don't really have to do much more work than that, right? And look at what the bull run has produced with that as our backdrop. What happens when everybody starts buying in and sentiment really shifts? Is that when this bull cycle ends? What's the signal going to be?
I don't think that's when the bull cycle ends, but that would definitely be a sign that we're reaching a local market high, right? So that kind of environment would probably set us up for that, 4 to 9% pullback at the S&P 500 level, getting us back down to the 200-day moving average. By the way, we're 9.5% away from the 200-day moving average, and that 200-day moving average is aligned exactly with the Q1 2025 highs. So if we're looking for kind of that breakout, retest, rebound setup, I'm as a long-term investor, right? Because I'm investing for the short and the
Okay.
medium term, but I also have to manage my long-term portfolio.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm hoping to back up the truck once again, So
Yep.
that's how I'm seeing things at least.
A nice little dip would be lovely. This market's so Teflon, it's like it's down for a day, 2 days, and you don't get any real follow through. But we will eventually. We've had some pretty hard corrective waves along the way already this cycle. You would imagine another one is coming at least once before it's all said and done. So like Caleb's saying, there's your opportunity, right, to buy corrections in the context of primary uptrends. They're going to be everywhere when that happens.
Yeah, 100%. And it was basically the same exact setup that we just had for Bitcoin at the end of September, retesting the prior highs, having the opportunity for a breakout retest rebound setup, allowing the moving averages to catch up, flipping it into support, right? We had a bunch of oversold conditions flashing for Bitcoin. I was saying, hey, I'm buying here between 108 and 112. Yeah. And those were the first purchases that I was making since March when we were trading below 80,000, so I had to wait for 6 months in order to buy again. But, I'm certainly not taking victory laps here at 124. I think we're going much higher. But
I think, first of all, you've earned a mid-cycle victory lap. You've been on the right side of this trade for a very long time, my friend. You've done great. Good for you. What do you see next? And what are you doing with your money, right? Like, how are you playing? Are you still like full bull Bitcoin, not really dabbling too much in the shadier stuff? Because that's been the right move.
I'll tell you, my entire Roth IRA is allocated to BTCL, which is the 2x leveraged Bitcoin ETF, and then BMNR. And I'm probably like 80-20 split between the two of those.
You see bastard.
It's a bull market, brother. What else am I supposed to do?
Good for Good for you. Dude.
But look, that BTCL ETF is up like 180% year over year. So
listen to what he's saying. He's making his money work for him. He's not an IBIT. He's getting a double here. Love that.
I'll tell you this, though, as the cycle goes on, what I will be doing as we get closer to my 175K cycle price target, I'll be rotating out of BTCL and into IBIT.
Smart.
Yep. But we're not there yet. I'll probably start doing some of that rotation if we get to like 140.
And the Biminer, I would imagine when that music stops, you're going to frickin', hit the exit pretty fast. On the whole
I
thing.
brought a BMNR chart with me, actually. If you guys want to. Yeah, it's coiling up.
I'm in, dog. I think this thing goes to zero eventually, but I'm in.
Yeah, it might, but I think it's probably going to go up before it goes to zero. So
maybe 10x.
Yeah, and look, so they announced there in late June the Tom Lee coming onto the board, whatever his position is exactly, and we've just basically been coiling. So for me, I think if we can get to 92 on this, I'll basically call it a trade and wrap it up.
Oh, you don't even want the old highs? Come on. Come on.
I don't want to be too greedy here, man.
Hey. This is a bull market. Fuck your price target.
Yeah. Hey, look, I hope it keeps going up. I'll probably sell the majority of my position if we get to 91, 92, but
it's great.
I'll hold on to some if we can get back to 140, 160.
All right. Give me your thoughts on MicroStrategy. I know you made a great trade. Not even a great trade. You were in it for over a year, right? You had a great position on MicroStrategy early on when they were the crypto equity market leader.
Yeah.
That ended really this time last year. And you switched up, the data changed, and you changed your positioning around. How do you view, I guess, its strategy now?
So I changed up a little bit too late because I gave back a decent amount of profits, but I still made out like a bandit on that position in MSTR. So I got out of that in Q1, and I basically haven't touched it since. From my perspective, the MNAV compression made BTCL way more attractive. And the only reason why you should be in MSTR is if you think that the MNAV is going to expand. But based on how many available instruments there are in this environment for investors to get high beta relative to Bitcoin, I don't know if we're going to go above 2x again on MNAV.
Yeah. That premium was driven by, it was a market access story.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. I was thinking when you said market access, I was thinking about the MKTX, the stock, but no, that's not what we're talking about. You're just saying like investor access. I got you.
MSTR was the only good way to access leverage in the public equities market for Bitcoin for a long time.
Louis done a post on this. He talked about how the MNAV peaked as soon as options became available on IBIT, and that was beautiful. I wish I was paying attention to that in real time. I wasn't.
It's 2020. Us too, my friend. But,
sure.
But that was November of last year, so it's been a long time. I think MicroStrategy, though, I'm making a similar bet with the Master now as you're making on the Biminer.
Sure, fair enough.
Like, we're going to zoom higher from here. We're going to get some sort of melt-up period. They're going to be buying land in the metaverse again. And MicroStrategy is probably going to work as well as anything. That's the bet I'm currently making. I'm just renting it. Biminer, I'm in a lot of these shitty treasury stocks that I really think are dog shit long term.
Sure. Yeah. Let me just give you a little bit more conviction on that. I brought a MicroStrategy chart, MSTR relative to IBIT. If this thing is going to bounce anywhere, it has to be here. So, Steve, this is the exact place I think if you were going to make a bet on a rotation, this is the place to do it. So if you've been patient for the last 3, 4, 6 months, this is now probably the chance here. Again, this is MSTR relative to IBIT. So this is not just the chart of MicroStrategy. Yep. And so all I see is a breakout retest rebound setup. The last time we tested this was late February. We went through a solid period of outperformance. Yep. This is now the same exact place, the resistance level for the majority of 2024. We now can just flip it into support.
Caleb's putting a big emphasis on these relative trends simply because in a bull market, he wants to be in the best performing instrument. That's it, right? So he's watching these relative trends and he wants to know what's outperforming Bitcoin. Where can I get my juice? I'm going to own that one. MicroStrategy was great for this for a long time. Hasn't been since that blow off top last fall. That's exactly the moment we're talking about when they launched the IBIT options.
100%. So this is the spot. You got to rebound here.
It's got to dig in. Absolutely. Or I'm probably out if this thing breaks. But this is a big level and it probably does hold. Yeah. In a bull market, levels like this should hold, right? With the higher beta instrument in the numerator. Quick, before we let you go, what do you think about just the overall bull market, the tech trade, the growth trade, AI trade? We're getting these headlines. OpenAI is out here doing deals with NVIDIA, doing deals with AMD. It's like every day you get to your computer. Oracle had its best day ever a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This theme is still very much zooming higher. Does it have legs?
Yeah, it probably does. And I think what we're seeing is that the exact themes that should work in a bull market are working. So in case you needed any additional confirmation that we're in a bull market, when the bull market themes are working, that's a pretty textbook example. Hey, we're in a bull market. So what that tells us is that if we have an opportunity to produce a higher low at the index level, whether we're talking about the S&P, whether we're talking about the NASDAQ, whether we're talking about Bitcoin, those are the opportunities where the real high beta growth, high octane names are really going to come down, providing a lot of investors with the opportunity to produce that higher low and re-engage once again for the next leg of the bull market. What we know for a fact, all uptrends produce higher highs and higher lows. So when you buy it, the production, let me be very clear, the potential production of higher lows, you're basing your perspective on the future that we are going to produce that higher high. So those are the themes to really continue to take advantage of. We know what they are. So have the full list, monitor them, and then take advantage of them. For me, I haven't been willing to go into the quantum names, even though I would have made way more money this bull market. For me, I've just been playing in software and cybersecurity. I've been loving those, right? And they're both at new all-time highs right here, right now. So that thesis also continues to pay off. I'm not promising people that I'm going to have the best returns during this bull market. I'm just going to make great returns. And
also, you're always going to miss things in the bull market. I was listening to Peter Lynch interview. Josh just did an awesome Peter Lynch interview. It's on their podcast channel. And he's asking him, Peter Lynch is talking about, I nailed Taco Bell, but it got bought out. I should have made more. McDonald's, that was an easy one. Chipotle. And he's talking about all these restaurant stocks. And he goes, and I don't know what happened with Starbucks. And Josh is like, what happened? Like, why'd you miss it? He's like, I don't know. Like, you fucking get busy in a bull market. Like, you can't buy everything. And you just got to be okay with that. Every time a cycle ends, you're going to be like, oh, that one was so obvious. I missed it. Great. I mean, you can't beat yourself up over it, especially in a market where it's just getting increasingly easy to almost close your eyes and throw a fucking dart and get something that's trending higher.
I think one thing that's important for people to kind of have in their back pocket from like a mentality perspective is you have to pay yourself during a bull market. So in some aspect, we need to be protecting our profits. We need to take some chips off the table, but still giving ourselves room to the upside because we're still in a bull market and because we know asset prices trend. The thing here to recognize is you cannot beat yourself up 1, 2, 3, even 6 months down the line. If you sold something, like for me, for example, 2 weeks ago, maybe even less, I sold Micron. I made like 40% on that position in less than 2 months. And I was like, hey, this is fantastic. I would have loved to have held this for much longer. I plan to, but what the fuck else am I supposed to do? I just made 40+% in less than 2 months. If I did not sell that position, I'd be up like another 15%, right? So, but it doesn't, I made 40% in 2 months. Thank you very much. I'm out.
And you should be happy with that, right? A real trader understands that, and they don't really feel bad or have like seller's remorse. I have members who are more aggressive than me, and they'll hold on longer. And these calls will go 20x, 25x, and they come in my chat and tell me about their wins. I'm like, dude, that's awesome, but like, I'm not as greedy as you. I was out at 10 or 15, and I redeployed it. Like, you know what I mean? I lose my edge when something starts running way up 40%, like in the micron. That was an example. And I was telling folks on my call last week, speaking to the point you just made, when I feel like a big shot, I feel like the boss because I'm making so much money and having the best day ever in my account. I feel so cool. I'm bragging to my friends on the phone. You know what I do? I'm mindful of the thoughts that I'm having and the feelings and those emotions. And I say, okay, boss, man, if you're such a big boss, you know what happens? Big bosses get paid a lot. Go fucking pay yourself. Right? So when I'm feeling on top of the world and I'm playing music and dancing in my office and telling my friends how I went 10x in a day, I pay myself. Because that's just, I know that from history. It's time to ring that register a little bit when you're feeling that way.
You got to do it, especially in my opinion, on like,
paid.
especially in like relatively ancillary positions. Like for me, Micron was not some core portfolio holding like a top 10 position in my portfolio. I could have maybe imagined it becoming so one day, but it just ripped face. And I was like, hey, you know what? Instead of taking more profits on Palantir or Broadcom or something else like Cloudflare, I'm going to let those winners keep running. But I'm gonna take some of the profits out on Micron and just protect myself a bit. So, yeah.
I make a wrong decision almost every day, and it's just fine.
You have to be prepared to make a lot of mistakes, you know, and they're not even mistakes. That's that you can't even frame it as a mistake, right? That's basically the entire premise of what we're talking about right now.
Caleb, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm
no,
done.
No, good.
I'm done.
Steve, go ahead.
I've missed you, Caleb. It's always great having you on. Talk crypto, talk markets. This guy can do anything, guys. Make sure you give him a follow and you sign up for his Substack.
If you're not following Caleb, if you're not getting his Substack or his Twitter, Cubic Analytics, check it out.
Good shit.
Recommend it enough. Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Brother. Thank you.
Thanks,
Caleb. We'll see you soon.
All right. Well,
enjoy that goulash
next time, Steve. I don't know the next time Steve or I will be in like Montenegro or wherever he is, but you know.
I want to get out there. His pictures look beautiful. Yeah, can I go? Can I go feed some ducks, dude? Please, Jesus.
Yeah, go. I want to bring on Sam for just a second, and then Steve, you can go feed some ducks, and then we'll hop out of here.
Yeah, the ducks are waiting for me. Everybody.
All right, Sam, Mr. Gatlin. I know you have charts. I mostly just want to know about your trip to Dubai and the CMT Association conference you went to last week. So, how was that?
It was awesome, Spencer. You missed out. I got a picture with the godfather of technical analysis, Mr. Ralph Akampora. It was a dream come true for me. I mean, I've looked up to this guy the entire time I've been a technical analyst. He's a real pioneer in the industry. So to meet him in real life, I actually got to not only take a picture.
Was that the highlight? That was the best part?
Yeah. Yeah. How can you beat that? That was awesome. I also got to sit across from him at dinner on the first night and just
wow. You went to dinner with Ralph?
It was really nice. It was, yes, it was bizarre. I couldn't believe it. And then on the last night, so you can throw up slide 24. That's just a picture of me with Ralph. But on the last night, we had a big party on the rooftop. Everybody came. It was on the rooftop of the OKX crypto exchange in Dubai. And it was actually Ralph's 85th birthday. And boy, did this guy not act like he's 85 years old. He was throwing down shots. He was dancing with the pretty girls. He was really enjoying himself. It was really cool to see.
Oh my God. I'm just browsing.
I really hope to be like that when I'm much older.
Look at these pictures, man. Oh my goodness. Look at this. What the hell?
Yes. Dubai is beautiful. I highly recommend you at least go to see it. I don't think I could ever live there. It gets insanely hot. Even like right now, it's 100 degrees every single day. Like I think the winters are fine, but man, I can't do that kind of heat. You step outside and you're just immediately drenched in sweat.
I have to know what is this?
Go ahead. So this was when I first got to Dubai. I stepped off the subway, and then there was this robot. You can just ask this robot any question, and it can help you out with a variety of tasks. So Dubai is definitely on the bleeding edge of technology. I don't
Is
see any
is
robots like this in the United States.
I assume English is common over there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this is actually a picture of me at the beach. And this was back in Greece, not in Dubai. But
Damn,
Spencer,
you are just
did you
living
know that there are nude beaches here in Europe? I was not prepared for this.
I mean,
As
there's
an American, there's no nude beaches.
there's a nude beach in New Jersey, my man. So yeah, I did know that.
All right, I've never experienced one of these. It was a new experience for me, but I'm kind of into it. I gotta be honest.
All right, that's all. All right, enough about that. Give us one chart before we go here. Steve is feeding some ducks.
Yes. There's a lot of a lot of ducks to feed. Slide 20. So this was Friday's Commodities Weekly report. We talked about the commodity nations. So I'm sure you could expand this list, but this was a good enough list for me. I included Australia, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Indonesia, Norway, Peru, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and the UAE. I equally weighted them in a composite index, and this is what my computer spit out. Look at this base, guys. The commodity nations are joining this bull market, and if you look at slide 21, like they've been dramatically outperforming this year. So this is all of those nations I included in those in that previous index we were just looking at, and we can compare that to the S&P 500, which is up 15% this year. And then you look at like Peru up 60%. It looks to me like this bull market's just getting started for these commodity nations, and it's already a great place to be. So I continue to think that there are great trades outside of the United States. You have Steve talking about all of his crazy breakout multiplier names, but you can get some boring precious metal stocks in South Africa and crush it. Yeah.
I mean, no big deal. No big deal. Gold is at like 4,000, 40, almost.
Yeah,
almost 4,000 here.
Up every single day. I didn't bring the chart, but my junior, at the Gold Rush, we have an equally weighted basket of junior gold miners, and in 2025, this equally weighted basket is up 200%. 200%. If you look at these AI ETFs, they're not up 200% in 2025.
No.
It's not even close.
Bull market, man. What more is there to say?
Bull market.
There's nothing more to say. We should end it there. Sam, I can't wait to hear more about this trip. And also, what was the sentiment there? People pretty bullish, I would assume.
It depends on what you're talking about. Like Alfonso and I noticed that like 5 people came up and talked about how bearish they are on crude oil, and like several people were like calling for tops in the precious metals. Of course, everybody sees that precious metals have been up every single day and they're extremely overbought, but I'm not stepping out in front of that uptrend. Just because it goes up a lot doesn't mean it needs to go down a lot. So far this bull market, we've just seen sideways corrections in the precious metals. So
yeah, that's true.
That's what I noticed. Yeah, but yeah, just generally speaking, people were bullish U.S. equities.
All right,
if you imagine.
I can imagine. If you want to get Sam's commodities charts and his research and his trades, allstarcharts.com/gold-rush. The link is on the screen. By the way, I did throw a link on there to get Steve's trades as well. It's breakoutmultiplier.com. Sam, thanks for joining us. Everyone, we're going to get out of here. Busy day on the channel. We have chart requests live at 1. Kenny's going live at 11. Gold Rush members will get your weekly video with Jason and or Sam.
We have 5 new trade ideas to cover, so
damn,
this is not an episode you want to miss.
And last but not least, if you are a member of All-Star Charts Premium, the next conference call with JC Parets is tonight at 8 p.m. If you are not a member, allstarcharts.com. So a lot going on. Steve, I did drop the link. The link is in chat. The link was on the screen, so pay attention. All right. We're done here. Thanks for watching. Drop us a like. Go make some money. All right.
Adios.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it